Right. Okay. So Charlie Kirk again, or at least related to. Um. So I've explained why I consider myself a socialist. But I see myself as a leftist, and that is because we on the left actually care. We're supposed to. Now, despite what I just said in the last video, I will temper that. I'm going to say again. I don't condone what happened to him. I find it darkly amusing, but I don't condone it in the slightest. I really have to strongly say this. When I've said before that we on the left need to bite back, this is not what I mean. I don't mean physically fight them. Not unless you yourself are physically threatened. But we are supposed to consider ourselves better than the right. We do consider ourselves better than the right. But there are, let's just say, calling for social conservatives and the right to be wiped out it is no different to them saying that that Muslims should be wiped out, that leftists should be wiped out. We are supposed to be better than that. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to see me getting soppy. Like I said in the last video, I don't feel sorry for Charlie Kirk. I feel sorry for his kid. I want to feel sorry for his wife, but I've been hearing things which make me a bit about it. But the point there is that my first instinct is to love, or to find wisdom in love. But because he didn't show any love to people from the other side, I don't see why it should be put back. He should be showing it back. What I do agree with with a whole bunch of centrists who I've been watching on YouTube complaining about, though. What I will agree with them on is that it's a bit disturbing that people on the left apparently have been saying that his wife and child should be shot as well. No, there's being edgy, and then there's being a psycho. That's sick. That's actually sick. That's supposed to be what we are accusing them of. Like I said before, I'm no pacifist. I believe that if you should fight back, you should fight back. But like, to scream back that they should be wiped out is no better. That makes us no better than them. Do I think that certain political ways of thinking should be, ridiculed? Yeah. Ridiculed? Yes. when you're saying that, right, not everyone on the right is a Nazi. I mean, Mr. Stewart, Rory Stewart, he's a right winger, economically speaking, but he's no Nazi. So there are a few in that were in the Tory party that were no Nazis. Like Cameron himself, not a Nazi. Despicable, but not a Nazi. He was a social and fiscal conservative. But I don't call for these people to be. I wouldn't. Calling for these people to be killed doesn't help us. It just gives the right more ammunition against us because they're already accusing us and trying to convince the centre ground that we are the violent ones. What good then does it do when we go, yeah, we should do more of it? No! Call out the violence. The kid who shot Charlie Kirk was severely misguided and was possibly mentally ill and just felt desperate at the end of his tether. Should never have done what he did. I think I said before in an earlier video that I suspect this kind of thing to make the cycle just carry on. More people dying. Someone dies, the rhetoric ramps up, more people die, the rhetoric ramps up, more people die. And we on the left are the ones who claim to be the empathetic ones. And yet you've got people on the centre right who are calling us out for being heartless. Tens of thousands of us who are still laughing at the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, my initial reaction was that I laughed. Freely admit that. But do I think the whole situation is funny? No, not in the slightest. Do I think it's funny that his kids saw that? Not in the slightest. That's not a giggle in the slightest. What I laughed at was the hypocrisy of him being someone who thinks that there should be less gun laws and then being shot. I laughed at the irony of that. That's what I laughed at. Just so we're clear. Because it seems that there are quite a few people on the left who are more than willing to say that they will laugh at people dying and yet go fucking nuts at them for laughing at people who are dying in Gaza. Did you not see the hypocrisy there? This isn't me becoming some centrist or going onto the right, not a chance. But we do have to recognise that we ourselves are not doing ourselves any favour. Calling for the deaths of his wife and child. Are you stupid? What is wrong with you? Oh, I'm going to be an anti-leftist on YouTube. I'm going to write this. I'm going to say this. Fucking twat. That doesn't help the progressive cause, does it? In what way is that progressive? I still stick to my guns, by the way, that Charlie got what was coming to him. That hasn't changed. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I approve of it. clear distinction. Because political violence only begets more political violence until someone wins and more people are dead. I spoke in the last video about about cooperative tribalism, where you have different tribes to come together to work towards a common goal, a common cause. That doesn't mean they're all the same. But it does mean they all recognise that they're all part of this world. And that you do need to work together, not just against one another. I don't know. I'm. This whole situation is really pissing me off on multiple levels. You've got the right wing who are calling for us to be silent, and you've got the left who aren't helping the situation by trying to by upping the rhetoric. I mean, where do people expect this to go from here? Because I actually do see more people on the left calling for more peaceful resolutions to different problems, whereas the right just want to throw people out. They just want to ignore. They either want to ignore the problems or they want to deal with it in a really harsh way. And it is gotten to the point now where rhetoric, the back and forth rhetoric, has gotten so nasty that it is becoming realised in the actual world. It's like the whole doxing thing. And people don't realise how dangerous that is. So, please, if you watch this and you're like me, you don't particularly feel sorry for Charlie Kirk, please recognise at the very least that the political violence that caused him to die was not necessary. It's not right. Don't condone the violence. I understand how darkly amusing the irony is. But don't be calling for his wife and his child to be shot as well. That's not edgy, that's just disgusting. Don't be calling for Trump to be shot. I understand the thinking behind it, but you're not going to help the situation. You're just going to continue the cycle of violence and make it worse. It is quite depressing to see that the left is losing its heart, which is what made us the left. It was what made us progressive. We can't lose heart. We can't just be unempathetic. we can't lose sight of what we're really aiming towards. A world that isn't so bigoted. A world that isn't so uncaring. It's not who we're supposed to be. It's not who we tell ourselves we are. If you go and do this stuff, then you just, you know, all you're doing is making yourself what you're not, what you think you're not. You know, it's like the atheist leftists who will come and have a go at me because I'm a leftist, but I'm also a man of faith. I'm polytheist, and then like they treat me with the same derision, the same bigotry that they accuse Christians of. It's quite frankly ridiculous. Surely the opposite of derision is disdain. You treat derision with disdain, pity. Pity those who cannot empathize. But don't think that means that I have love for those who are evil. It's not where I'm coming from. Don't convince the centre ground by proving your opposition correct in their accusations of violence or their accusations of incitement to violence, despite the fact they're doing it themselves. I get that. So, yeah. Hopefully this will be the last thing I say about the Charlie Kirk situation. As I said earlier, I'm kind of getting really sick and tired of it. But I felt this really had to be said. Like, I really had to make this clear. I must have said it numerous times across the last 3 or 4 videos. But I do not condone what happened to Charlie Kirk. And we shouldn't do anything to continue the cycle of violence. Because all that will do is bring down more violence on us. It's not what we're after. And I know what you guys think. Again, hopefully this will be the last Charlie Kirk thing I'll have to say, at least for quite a while. So, please look after yourselves. My sword at your service, and my shield at your back's badges. Blessed be, and stay safe.